Lost Sword launched yesterday and we have been getting the same questions over and over and over again, so I want to make a small video going over not only personal tips and a little bit of a beginner's guide, but also random tips and tricks that have helped us in the 6 months playing on the Korean server. So we'll go a little bit of a mix of beginner's guide, progress faster, tips and tricks, whatever you want to call them. No specific order for all of the things we're going to be talking about today, and if you want even more guides, even more content on the game, reminder that it's already everything on the website. In fact, most of the things we'll talk today are already here on the website. Plenty of information in there, how to build your characters, but we will make a small video going over all of that. But as usual, before we start, hello nerds, welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Today's topic, Lost Sword Beginner's Guide, how to progress faster, whatever I end up calling this video. I'm gonna be going a little bit again with no specific order into things that I believe are important to explain, starting of course the relic, the cubes and the growth system. So as you can see, I am not even done with the growth system. At level 291, my account is level 85, etc. This will take a while. So what is the priority here, Sefhi? First you wanna go attack in my opinion, and then you wanna go HP or defense, doesn't matter which one of the two. And then lastly, boss attack, least priority, this one. Boss attack is kind of useless, all of these are flat stats, so I would focus personally on attack, defense and HP, because they will help you everywhere, while boss attack only helps you, of course, on boss stages. If you make a mistake, guys, you can reset this, okay? You can click on reset, spend 50 gems, which is nothing, and you will be able to reset, okay? So no problem on that regard. Second tip, and I think this is obvious, but some people will still miss it, use food, okay? Look at this, I have 1000 steaks, 500 dragon rolls, 300 chicken stews. You can also cook your eggs that you find on the town. Cook your food and use it. It's giving you buffs for 1 hour and it is really good. And on the current event, you can also get 2 new types of food right here that will last for 24 hours, damage reduction 5%, and also this one right here, which is additional damage 5%, 24 hours too. So that will help you get a really good progress early on. These buffs do not count if you are offline. So if you play 1 hour and you log off, when you come back, you have 23 hours left on your buffs. It is really good. So even if you were to, you know, by mistake use 1000 hours of a stake, you are not losing it because it only applies when you are online, which is really nice. The next thing I want to talk about, and probably you guys already saw it, but don't forget that on the Milliard shop, you can get the selector for pretty cheap. You will get plenty of currency, you will be able to guarantee the selector. Of course, Sefhi, what characters are the best to get in the selector? Neo Medieval has a banner, so not her. So we go into the other DPSs. Tiamat, of course, Galahad is a great pick, Lancelot is another amazing pick, and if not, the supports, aka Diane. Outside of those characters, I would not really recommend getting anyone else with a selector. Merlin and Lisa could be good picks, but I will still go for the meta ones, right? For like the top picks everywhere else. Merlin and Lisa are kind of like a limbo in between T0 and T1, right? Those are the ones I would recommend going for, but don't forget to grab your selector in there. The next thing I want to talk is pets. So people are asking for pet recommendations and how pet works and everything else a lot of the time. Multiple things for pets. First of all, formations. You run 3 pets. Only the pet in front will use its skill, as you can see. So right now, Phoenix will give me passive crit. Hysteria will do the fear, whatever pet you put in the front. The other pets only give you stats. And now the important question, Sefhi, what pets should I be using? The ones with more dupes. The difference in stats, it's huge. 30% attack, 60% attack, damage reduction, additional damage, ignore damage reduction, etc. Choose the ones with more dupes. If you don't have a lot of dupes, there are a few pets that are really good. Phoenix, Hysteria, Tiamat, the new Run pet as well that I don't have right here is really good as well. So all of those pets, even without dupes, will be able to help you a lot. Griffin as well, but for the most part are utility pets. So for example, Morgana has a 100% uptime attack buff. That's good, right? Because you know you can use that all the time. So basically, whatever you have with most dupes, and then the one in front will change if you have Phoenix or Asteria or Tiamat. Those are, in my opinion, T0 picks, so go for those. That's a little bit of a TLDR on how pets work, because people were getting confused. Sadly, when it comes to pulling for pets, unless you are willing to go all in, I would not go. Unless you're willing to max out Neo Medieval's pet, I will say just wait for the next pet, right? And see if it's worth going for those. The Neo Medieval pet is decent, so you could be going for multiple dupes on that one. The next thing I want to talk about is the training system. This is a new system that they have introduced on this patch, meaning, there were no guides previously. There is one on the website already, but let's talk about it. So if I go, for example, to my Percival and I come here, this is the training system. What is this, Sefhi? This will give you passive stats for the character, as you can see. It will cost you souls. It's expensive for a new player. Only do it on your meta characters, on the strongest units only. As a new player, you are not gonna have a lot of souls. You have to use the souls also to level up your cards, right? So this costs souls, and then this one will cost stones. These stones, you get them every day by playing the game on a daily dungeon. Pretty simple. Now the important part, that this is not mentioned anywhere, these nodes, these big nodes, defense 3%, it's for everyone in the account. Everyone in the account. If I come here to my buffs, and you see training right here, this defense 6%, damage reduction, HP, those are nodes from the training system on other characters that I have unlocked already. So for example, my Tristan, I already got this one here for the HP. These ones, when they are skills, are only for the character. But the ones that are passive stats are always for everyone in the account. Every single element has different stats. HP is for nature. If you go to a water, they are gonna have defense. If you go to electro, it's attack, etc. The only characters that have different stats are going to be, of course, the holy ones. Every single one of them will have different things. Crit resistance on Merlin. If you go to Tiamat, she has critical damage, etc, etc, etc. That's a TLDR version. If you want to know more about this system, go to the website. There is a guide already in there. The next thing, it's gear. I want to talk a little bit about gear, how to identify good gear, because there is a few stats that are useless and a few that are situational. So I want to start by saying this on a gear. Healers cannot crit. They heal with basic attacks and with their skills, but they cannot crit, meaning you only want to go for attack on your healers, never for crit. Crit is completely useless on a healer. That's it about that. Let's actually talk about gear. Gear can come in all forms and shapes, different rarities, but the important stuff is always going to be the unique stats and of course the special stats. Special stats can be flat, as you can see, attack and priority, or can be percentage. Of course, percentage is better. At the beginning of the game, if you get SSR gear, settle with whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Long term, the only things worth looking are good pieces of gear. As you can see, double attack percentage, 1 critical percentage. If I go to the 1 level up, a triple ignore damage reduction, 1 attack, things like that. There are special weapons, for example this trident. You can get this as a new player on the event. This is a weapon that it's, as you can see, not that good. So why would I be using this on my Galahad? Because the tidal wave, it has a skill. Weapons with the skills, always check them out to see if it's worth using or not. This one is pretty good because it's damage reduction and Galahad doesn't do any damage. She's a tank, so she can be having this and it's a great piece of weapon for her. Same for this staff that you will be able to get later, a lot of skills. For unique items, always check their skills and lock them. I will say it's worth locking them just for collection in case in the future they are useful, right? Outside of that, the only other stat we need to mention is of course ignore damage reduction. So ignore damage reduction is useless unless the boss has damage reduction. So if we come here, as you can see, this boss has 30% damage reduction. If this boss didn't have this passive, ignore damage reduction does nothing. So this is a stat you only use for bosses that have this passive. It's important, right? So you should probably save a few of these pieces of gear with ignore damage reduction, as I have here, for bosses. Even, for example, on the guild raid, there is a lot of the bosses here that have ignore damage reduction. So you want to save those pieces of gear for specific game modes. That said, outside of that, as a general rule of thumb, DPSs will want, of course, attack and crit, right? Your supports will want HP and defense, and then your healers will just want attack to heal more. There are exceptions. Of course, there are exceptions. Lancelot scales with HP, so she does not want attack, she wants HP instead. If you want to know how to build the characters, and again, I will keep, of course, plugging my website, but if you click on any character here and you click on stats, there is a recommendation for every single piece of gear and the specialties as well. So you just can go there and understand why a character needs specific stats. That's it about gear. Again, like a really quick one-on-one. The other thing you should be making sure you are using is the equipment presets. Equipment presets are actually pretty nice. As you can see, I have set up 2 for each class. 2 wizards, 2 melees, 2 bows, 2 tanks, and then 2 supports. I do not set up a weapon or a card. because weapon art cards are gonna be something you change constantly depending on the game mode. So for me it's easier if I put only the gear, and then I just come here and I put the stuff, and then I come here and I put whatever card I need for my Tiamat, right, when I'm building them. When you set them up, I can come to my Anessa, for example, preset, and I can go to melee and equip any of these two, and automatically it will equip, and I can just switch the weapon and the card manually depending on what I'm doing. So make sure you use your presets, it will make your life easier. You are going to be switching team compositions in this game constantly depending on the game mode. So set them up, don't be lazy. The next thing I want to talk about is one of the dungeons, in particular the gold dungeon. This is the easiest dungeon by far, and it's that this boss has a passive right here that will summon a Skullguard at the same level as the summoner. But this is probably bug, and again, even the Korean bros haven't talked about this. We don't know if it's intended or not, but if you only use ranger characters, if I switch to this, right, there we go, this composition, he will not summon a single ad. It's probably not intended, but use it while you can to progress on this dungeon. It will make it so much easier. Just make sure there is no melee characters, because the summon only procs if melee characters are involved. If not, you can just go with rangers and he will never summon them. Which is pretty nice because, for example, the experience I'm stuck because it's harder. But when it comes to the gold stages, it's a lot easier to clear if you just abuse this cheese. And then the last thing I want to talk a little bit about that I said at the beginning is the relics and the chaos cubes. So growth, it's pretty simple, right? You go attack, then defense HP. What about the relics and the cubes? Relics, as you can see, it's level 300 right now, the maximum. It's gonna take you a long as time. I'm not done. 287, 258, 255. Usually you wanna go 311. I am not going that, as you can see, I'm a little bit slower, but it is what it is. 311 is the recommendation when it comes to relics. When it comes to cubes, it's just basically you go first blue, then you fill your purple cube, and the legendary one will take you 3000 years. I am not done, 217. So how do you farm these cubes? Is there a specific strategy? Yes, as you all know, you will go to Stonehenge every single day. Usually we farm on level 3 or on stage 8, those two, because they give a lot of resources and you can quickly kill them. Now, in order to farm cubes, we do farm cubes without killing the boss, just by killing ads. And the way we do this is by setting up a new team and just putting 2 characters in here. Characters with short animations and a healer just in case. If you're a new player, you might not be able to clear with only 2 characters. You can put 3 or 4, it's fine. Just make sure it's not characters like Tiamat that have really long animations and animation locks, so you can take advantage of these 10 minutes, right? Because 10 minutes is a limited time per day and you want to farm as many cubes as possible. If you farm every day, you don't need to be doing the boss every single day. As you can see, I have, how many tickets do we have? 211. I usually wait until there is a new stage or I want to farm gear to push content. But for now, for a new player, if you want to farm, stage 3 is a good spot to do so. And honestly, that's about it for like the beginner's guide, how to progress faster, and some of the tips and tricks that we've been collecting for the past few months. Anything else you guys might have questions with, feel free to leave a comment down below and I will be answering them. That's gonna be for this one. We are live every single day, links in the description. Good luck with your pool, dinner rates, and I'll see you on the next one.